Everyone, this is Carla, and welcome to an all new episode of Adventures in Workforce Development. This is part six, and the title is Now the Real Work Begins. So, the real work begins because I submitted all of my paperwork, but what I always like to do is start preparing for my training or certification by reading up on it. I do feel that with training, it's my responsibility to get as much out of it. So that's why I always walk into the training knowing something or have some type of working knowledge. So I'm going to give you an example. For instance, I went into my certified Scrum Master training class through CC Pace, reading Jeff Sutherland's, one of the co-founder of Scrum, book about Scrum doing twice as much in half the time. I read that Saturday and all day Sunday. The class started Tuesday, and I passed my certified Scrum Master license on Thursday, which is in 5 days. A second thing is my IDO 3 foundation exam that I passed in 2017. I took the Udemy IDO foundation course and learned some of it. I also read the prep guide, and it really helped me pass the exam with a 73. You had to get 65 the first time, so I passed the IDO in 7 days. And the same with my IDO 4, which I self-studied for. I actually read the manual, the Axlos IDO 4 manual, and passed that in 11 days. But just preparing is very important when you do the training. So that's what I mean by the real work beginning. It's nice to do the paperwork, but you have to, do some action behind it. And I chronicle it when I take some practice exams too, because I want to be extremely familiar. Some of the other sites that I use are LinkedIn, Reddit is great. There's a CompTIA Reddit that really helps if you're doing, A plus, Network plus, Security plus. You can find a Reddit for anything. AWS certifications, IDO. When the IDO 4 just came out this February 28th, and I passed mine March 31st. There weren't a lot of resources. A lot of the training companies didn't start rolling out resources until April, and by then already passed. But there were people who were on Reddit who passed and gave some tips on what to do, what resources to use. And I was able to pass. And also, I wrote an article about my passing the IDO 4 and it being very helpful. So for this episode, like the real work begins, I'm already laying the foundation to make sure that I get the most out of it and I come in with the working knowledge. Another reason why I would recommend you getting a preliminary or working knowledge is that you can ask better questions. Remember, whether or not you get training money or you're self-financing it, you want to be able to ask certain questions that give definitive answers that help you in the long run. And by being better educated in the material, that will help you so much. I know it helped me, especially with IDO 3, because that was the first certification that was not project management related. So previous to IDO, I passed the Certified Associate in Project Management, which is the Project Management Institute's junior project management certification. Then I passed the Project Management Professional certification, and then I finished and passed the Certified Scrum Master, which is through Scrum Alliance, which is Agile. But it was all project management related. Learning the information and the vocabulary and jargon of IDO, which is IT Service Management, that really helped me a lot better understand the IDO doctrine, because there is some overlap regarding project management when it comes to change management, but it's a completely different field. And just reading up on the material and preparing for it, it gave me a better understanding of what questions that I needed to ask. Another reason, the second reason why I would recommend it is because it equips you with the skills to get out of something or to weigh whether or not the information you're being taught is correct. So when you take the prep, you acquire skills that you can decipher better, and then if you don't know, you can make a better educated guess based on what information you've already had. So, like I mentioned before, I just feel that I always like taking charge of my education and my learning, which is why I always prepare ahead of schedule for certifications or really anything, because you want to hit the ground running and I want to know as much as possible, because the better the question, the better the answers, and because you will get more resources and you get more knowledge out of it. So I have a whole week to prepare. I'm going to do more adventures in workforce development. But for this one, I wanted to do this because a lot of times people think once you submit the paperwork or anything that it's over with. And I would recommend that you start preparing for the next step. There's also positivity and positive, feedback of working towards a goal. And it makes it that much better when you pass it. So that's this episode of Adventures in Workforce Development, Part 6. Now the real work begins. My name is Carl R. Jenkins. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/Carl R. Jenkins. And then also you can connect with me on my website, carlrjenkins.com. Click on the contact button, as well as email at info@carlrjenkins.com. So I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch me, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Goodbye.